Hi everyone and welcome to Meet the Founders. So today we have Brendan joining us, who is the CEO and founder of Thalo Labs. Now, in 60 seconds, Brendan is going to be saying what their business is, what the problems they're solving, and their solution for it. So Brendan, time starts now.
Thalo is trying to capture the last great unregulated market that is emitting the largest amount of greenhouse gases in most cities, which is the built environment. It's the second largest source of emissions globally, is just heating, cooling our buildings. Places like New York City and most other metropolitan areas, it's actually super dominant, over 70%. We bring solutions that already we know about in power and oil and gas and aerospace, where you can actually measure the base level physics of how our heating and cooling devices work. We've taken them down in scale and cost so we can deploy them anywhere in the built environment. And it turns out when you do that, if you're not emitting very well, you're probably wasting a lot of money. And that's how we are able to help accelerate our growth, is because if you can save money, then you can also save your emissions.
And okay, right, let's do a bonus question here, Brendan. Talk me through, where, what are your growth plans? Like, where did you start? Where are you going?
I like to think about a document we wrote at the beginning of Thalo, which is our manifesto. And the goal of the company ultimately is to help transform cities, not from net polluters all the way to net carbon sinks, where we're actually capturing more CO2 in the built environment than we're releasing. But you have to do that in stages, right? While we are already doing carbon capture in certain places where the buildings are very close to net zero, most of the time we have vent pipes leaking natural gas, methane, and refrigerant. So our stages of growth really start with what we're doing right now, which is phase 0. Make sure that we're not leaking, and if there's efficiency gains to be had, of course we need to do it. The next phase is, how do you get that everywhere? How do you scale that so that that's touching every tailpipe in the built environment in the world? Once you have that data, this is fantastic, because now you can figure out what the most strategic and surgical upgrade path is in a way that you can't do without that data. If you can't fix what you can't measure, well, let's start by measuring it. And then that fourth tier of our manifesto is really, how do you get to the point where you can scale carbon capture at scale in the built environment? And that's kind of, I think, an outline of where we're going. We're being pretty upfront about that's the plan. And what's nice is that if you do this in a way that actually can save and or make our customers money, our partners money, then you have a clear economic benefit to doing it, as opposed to just for goodwill.